Hey, what's up y'all? I'm Charlie. On today's episode I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my homemade salmon cakes with homemade dipping sauce from scratch. Now this is a great appetizer for small gatherings. You'll have to double the recipe of course, or you could have it for yourself. It makes about 7 to 8 salmon cakes and it's absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what you'll need to make your homemade salmon cakes. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need 1 pound of salmon. Now this is a half of a salmon fillet. I baked it at a preheated 325-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. And of course I added a little bit of seasoning and squeezed a little lemon on there. Alright. And along with that, you're going to need some mayonnaise, Zatarain's Creole mustard, relish, honey, plain breadcrumbs, eggs at room temperature. And for our seasonings, you'll need some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Now if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Separate Mama Cajun seasoning. You will also need some Chef Paul Prudhomme's Seafood Magic, cayenne pepper, Zatarain's crab ball, green onion, garlic, some fresh parsley, and 1 large lemon. And I forgot to mention that y'all gonna need some salted butter. And for your tools, I forgot to mention that you're gonna need a food processor. And there we have it. All right, let's get straight to it. So we're gonna get started by rinsing off our parsley, followed by our large lemon. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and chop up our green onion. And you want to make sure that you chop up the green onion ends as well. And there we have it. Alright, here we have our parsley. We're only using a small amount for this recipe, so we're going to first start off by chopping the stems off. Alright, now we're going to chop this up until it resembles coarse crumbs. Just going to chop it up really fine. Alright, here I have 4 cloves of garlic. I just took each clove and I just cut it in half. So that's why it looks like it's a lot. Alright, we're just going to chop our garlic up until it is minced. So make sure you chop that up real good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this 1 large lemon in half. Alright, so in our food processor here I have my salmon fillet. I broke it up into medium-sized pieces. And I'm going to just add that in there. And my salmon is already fully cooked. Now we're going to poach this until it is minced. Right. And that took no more than about 10 pulses altogether. And as you can see here, it's nice and shredded. Exactly what we're looking for.
Preheat your fire to medium heat.
Alright, so in a large saucepan, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of salted butter. You can use unsalted if you like. I'm going to just spread that around. I'm going to just let that melt in there. Alright, now we're going to add a 1/2 cup of our chopped green onions. And to that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of our chopped green onion ends. Now you want to reserve about 2 tablespoons of this. Just put it on the side because we're going to use that to make our sauce later. Alright, just add that in there. You got to add 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic. And here I had already did it already. And you want to make sure that you reserve about 1 tablespoon of this because we're going to use this to make a sauce later. Alright, now I'm going to just give this a quick stir. And we're going to let this saute for about 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, it's been about 3 minutes now.
Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off.
The only thing we're going to do now is we're just going to let this cool for about 10 minutes. Alright, we've added our shredded salmon into this large bowl. Now we're just going to add our chopped seasonings right on in there. And to that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of melted salted butter. Now remember, you can use unsalted if you like. 1 tablespoon of our fresh chopped parsley. A 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. 1 tablespoon of Zatarain's Creole mustard. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I have a lemon half here and I'm just going to squeeze that in there. 1 large egg beaten. And to hold it all together, we're going to add a half a cup of plain breadcrumbs. I'll just take my spoon. I'm just going to give this a quick stir. Now let's add some seasoning. We're going to add about 1/8 teaspoon of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of Chef Papadom's seafood magic, 1/8 teaspoon of Zatarain's crab ball. Add a little bit more crab ball in there. Just give that a quick stir. Now you could always adjust the seasonings as needed. You could add more or less. Okay, here I have an 11 by 17 inch baking pan. We're going to add about 2 teaspoons of canola oil. I'm going to just take my pastry brush and I'm just going to spread the oil around the baking pan, because that way when we add our salmon patties on here, they won't stick. Alright, now I'm going to take about 3 ounces of my salmon mixture and I'm just going to add that on there. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take this and roll it into a bowl. Now you can make it any size you want, doesn't really matter. This is about 3 ounces right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this and we're just going to place it onto our greased baking pan and just press it down to the size that you want. And there you go. Now this recipe makes about 7 to 8 patties. This one's a little small because that's the last of it that I had left. Now I'm going to go ahead and place these in my freezer for about 30 to 40 minutes until the crab cakes are firm. This will ensure that they don't break apart during the while they're frying. Alright, so let's begin our dipping sauce. So in this food processor, we're going to add 2/3 cup of mayonnaise. And to that, we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of Zatarain's Creole mustard, 2 teaspoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of our chopped green onion ends, 1 teaspoon of our chopped garlic,
1 teaspoon of our freshly chopped parsley,
about 2 teaspoons of sweet relish, 1/4 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, and about 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We're going to squeeze about 2 teaspoons of lemon juice in here. And I'm going to just blend this until creamy and smooth. Alright, and our sauce is now ready. And this took about 1 minute of blending all together. Alright, here are the salmon cakes. I just taken them out of the freezer. And they're nice and firm, ready to go.
Preheat your fire to medium heat.
Alright, so in our large non-stick saucepan, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of salted butter. We're just going to spread this around. I'm going to just let that melt in there. Now I'm going to add the salmon patties. Now I'm going to let these fry for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. Alright, our salmon patties are done. Right here I have a plate lined with some napkins. You could use a cooling rack as well. And once done, you just take them, place them on there. It's going to help drain some of that grease, because I don't want greasy salmon patties. And there you go.
Alright, now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off.
Once done, we transferred it onto a serving dish and we served it with some lemon wedges. I decorated with a little bit of parsley and our homemade dipping sauce. And there y'all have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade salmon cakes made by a New Orleans native. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Oh, look at that. Dip it in my homemade dipping sauce. You can taste the salmon. It's really, really good. It's juicy, moist. You can taste the flavor of the seasonings that we've added. And then that dipping sauce has a wonderful, gives it a nice, wonderful touch and flavor. I can't really explain it. It's really, really good. So, give the recipe a try. Hey y'all, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this fabulous homemade salmon cakes with homemade dipping sauce recipe. You can go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. I am also on Facebook and on Instagram under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. So until next time, take care, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.